Are you saying that the event that we're going to see in the sky on the 26th of May 2021, which is in 7 days, that is going to be a similar event, maybe part two of that event?
I think this is going to be all energies. Because it doesn't have to necessarily be anything we see. Because we can't see our energy. I mean, hell, there's people that sit here and say they see a round ball. And you can't see a ball. All you see is round. There's no depth. There's no breaks in a sphere. Just get with us. It's like the lines are there. We got to get past them. So it's more or less what we have to do here is you're sent here to learn. That was the whole prophecy under George Washington, and he would call the angels, the archangels that would come and visit him, because he really was scared about us losing our constitutional republic. And he would be visited by these angels, and they would take him to different times throughout history, and he would call him Son of the Republic. And they would tell him just to do this, look and learn. That's it. Because if you're not doing those two things, you're just kowtow, how they just, it is what it is. They said you can't change because that's how it's always been. No, we're not playing anymore. We're not letting people get a pass because they're ignorant. If you're going to be stupid, if you're not going to look into this stuff, then fine. Whatever happens to you, happens to you. That's on you. That's your free will. You did that. So if you don't ascend, if you go to another third dimensional world or whatever, that's on you.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah, they've given us everything.
Like Alex Collier, I'm a big fan. I'd love to interview him. If he's listening, please reach out to me. I would just want to say that he says the currency of this universe is not money. It's DNA and consciousness. And the ultimate power that we all have is free will. In every single density that we have, in every single life form, every single conscious that exists out there, it all has free will. And they are trying to take that away from us in reality, which is massively crimes against humanity, because free will is part of who we are.
Yes. That one's, I'm going to have to wait for another day to say who I believe gave us our free will. Because people probably won't like it, but I don't know what to tell them. I mean, true.
So let's speak about Israel. I mean, what's happening right now in Israel? Or actually, let's speak about what's happening this week in Israel. And what do you think will happen once all of what's happening right now in Israel is over? What's the next step? I'm trying to understand what Q means by Israel is last. I want to know the transition of what's happening now to where Israel is going in the next phase. Because if it's last, I'm suspecting we should be hearing many new things, like the mainstream media coming down and everything else. So let's try and scrutinize.
Yes, we're a week away, right? We're a week away from the 26th, right? Now, also on the 26th, there's a supermoon and a lunar eclipse. Okay? Now, also on June 10th, we have a total solar eclipse. Nothing. Now notice, they're both in the sign of Gemini, right? If you notice the dates, we've got 526 and 610. Right? So 526, 529, that's 3 days. 610 614 is 4 days. 3 plus 4 is 7, correct?
Mm-hmm.
529, 1917, JFK was born. 314, 1946, President Donald John Trump was born. Same day that the Army was born as well. So it's like coincidence? I think not. They even have a 7. I mean, it's all right there. Everything's just, with like the whole gematria, it's okay in instances, but it's got to come down to learning, gaining the knowledge and cross-checking with gematria, not just using it as the only tool. You're getting lists of multiple choice answers, and you have to go through them. It's like, well, why don't you just go ahead and just research, find the truth, and then bring it in, and then have a little elimination challenge, and come up with the with this.
I don't understand how gematria works, and I'm sure there's many listeners out there that don't understand it. How do we know how it works? I mean, how does it work?
There's got a book on number of games, 9/11 coronavirus.
Right.
The one guy, Zach Hubbard, he wrote it, and he's big into coding and all about that. So if anybody's looking to learn like coding, number games, 9/11 the coronavirus, and I believe he wrote also letters and numbers. I would highly advise anyone, no, I think it's like $16.
Evidence of coronavirus has
Zachary Hubbard.
Yeah. Well, I give credits to him. Well done. And well done to him. Credits to him.
Well, and wait there. Hold on. This is no. Guess how many pages are in it? 365.
All right.
What for each day? That's good. So now, so we already said, about the, with all this other stuff, right? With the July 5th, right? Now, what we do is we have, remember, done in 30, exactly 30, right? Now, when you go from the 5th of July, right? At 30, right? Done in 30, exactly 30. But kill box to 30, right? That means it's dead. The kill box, it's quote error demonstrum. It's for a mathematical, it's like a proof that it means for what is, it's proven inside the box what is supposed to be. Like if they say it's a kill box, well then whatever's inside of it, it's dead. Because we have a chart like this. We made a whole big poster board of the whole clothing center, because that's what that one top was. The initials in it. That's the clothing center that we were using. So those are the clones we had in play. That's a bridge 1 and bridge 2, and it just, we had everybody in there. We had everybody involved.
Right.
That's perfect. So now when we say done at 30, we go from July 5th to August 5th, right? August 5th. But problem is, we could actually say also from July 4th, August 4th. Because remember, that's when they got popped in 2018. August 4th, 2018 is when that one ship, the MS Thor Liberty, got busted for having those 69 Patriot missiles on it, wrapped up in boxes labeled fireworks. And it was on its way to Shanghai, China. And it had the missiles that we gave to Israel. Israel and China has been little buddies. Because Israel, you have the Calpy program, and what that is, I mean, it's just they had control of everything. You know, they had pretty much it was all like a technological it was just like a diabolical nightmare because you had to run by the Mossad, and it was Raphael Eitan that started it, and he is one of the four Israelis that took the uranium from the Newmec mine in Pennsylvania back in 1960. Because wherever they get uranium from, it has specific markings. You know, specific. Because in uranium, there's like 4 different types, but this specific type was only found one place in the entire world, and that was in that Pennsylvania Newmec mine, and that's where they got it from. They found the truth. They found the uranium marks in Israel. They made all these atomic weapons. That's all they were doing.
So when Q says Israel will be lost for what?
Well, they had the Samson option. Because if they found out that we knew, they were going to launch a bunch of PMs everywhere out of all those subs that they got from Germany. From the D5, the Dolphin 5 class. They had 5 subs.
Right.
Number 2 was Leviathan. Remember 2? Yeah.
Right. So what would they be?
Oh yeah, what they were going to do is Samson option. Well, their Samson option was attack first, fire first. So they were going to just launch missiles everywhere, and whoever, and just start World War III. Because remember, they had to kick it off.
Yeah.
So they were going to be like, well, then we're going to push in. Well, we're going to go ahead and do it.
Do you know when I saw the Q post saying Israel will be lost? I thought that my understanding was that the White Hats were going to sort out Israel last, meaning it will come down, there will be arrests, they will be exposed, legally they'll be dismantled. That's what I think when I think of Israel lost. What do you think Israel? What do you think they mean by Israel lost?
Well,
I mean, it's not easy because Q.
well, they had the Samson option. Option.
The Samson option.
Yeah, and the problem is that they haven't been good.
So what is the Samson option?
Well, what it is that if they find out, like it's like a dead man switch, but it's like a worldwide dead man switch for them. Like if anybody found out that Israel was that dirty and was doing all this shit, that they would be like, "We're watch out. We got to get this rolling." Because remember, World War III was supposed to be brought in by political Zionism.
And was Hillary Clinton supposed to be playing with them, helping them?
Yeah. It's like yes and no. Because Biden was the architect of the New World. So with him, he had to stay in because if he ever got his records at the University of Delaware, why they have them there, who knows? We have a good idea, but we'll talk about it in a minute. And those all go loose. Now, his records get loose. There's going to be shit to pay. Because now they're going to uncover, well, why do you have a secret surgery after college? Why would you need a surgery for curing pedophilia urges? It was secret, kept secret, you know? And you see him, well, not how he is now, because thankfully they took him out, plus they're letting him, letting this other idiot wear a mask. And he's not sniffing kids anymore. That's a good thing. Keeps him 6 foot away from kids. They can stay away. But also, they already eradicated him. Just because you can tell by his earlobes. And he writes with his right hand now. He used to sign with his left hand. What happened? I mean, your earlobes just don't grow on your head. They don't change. So, and plus, I mean, he was a lot bigger jagoff earlier on than he is now. He's like more like docile and hive-minded under the military intelligence, if you could say that. And all it is, it's just waking people up one day at a time. We'll get to the point where it's like, guys, we're not hitting snooze. That's it. Done. Because everything's, they have it done by the second. Once that alarm goes off, here we go.
So when Trump went to Israel, was that
Yes.
anything? Was that? Did he have anything to do with what's going on with Israel now? What was his input?
Well, he had to make sure that he fulfilled the prophecy that was left in the Old Testament. That the Messiah / Redeemer would build a temple, the third temple, in Israel, would do it cheap, and would do it it would do it for cheap and under budget, but also would move it from where the temples were now, to move location to like the birthplace of what was it? It wasn't the birthplace of Jesus, because this was way before Jesus. Because the whole King David and everything like that was way before Christ. And that's the thing too. It's like when the whole Jesus of the Christ comes up, the guy's Lord Savior, but you're missing one thing. It's like he's not a creator. We're all creators. Well, he was sent here to teach us. He was a prophet. He was a sent master. He's sent here to teach us that, hey, here's a better than this. Come on, guys. Wise it up. Because look what's going on back then.
Are you saying that because all of our consciousness is connected and with God, because we're made in the same image as God and we're all one, maybe we all created this. Maybe we are the creators and we're all interlinked together.
There you go. See how we're all God now? As one, we manifest it. We manifest our destiny. But the problem is that they've kept us dumbed down so much that we haven't had our full potential. But now, with the Starlink coming up, we're going to have it. Because why else would you need an alpha and a beta at 10,000 times the speed that the internet runs now?
They want us to believe that we are not creators. They want us to take away the creativity part of us, like every 9-to-5 job where you have a job description and you just take orders, follow orders.
Yes.
And they don't want us to create. They want us to social distance. So there's no more of that interaction, no sympathy, nothing. Everything destroyed what was given to us and what we really are. And really, it's the opposite. Really, we were part of the creation because our consciousness is one, is connected.
Exactly. And who's to say that the last 75,000 years, the last run of the last creators? Who were the creators before us? That lineage. Because remember, everybody's getting an ascension. Even President Trump is going to ascend. Because he's going to ascend whichever dimension he is in whatever, like if it's fourth, fifth, by fifth. So he's going to be moving up to a sixth dimension. You know, so it's like everybody is working and doing a job to go to the ladder. You know, so all of us, we're here, all taking, grabbing everybody, and just all moving up. There's a lot of people that volunteer to come back here to help humanity, to help them bring them up, and they were the teachers of because the teachers were buried in three places. They were buried in On, O-N, they were buried in Nuff, N-P-H, A-H-E-E-T-A-T-E-N, right? So, when you take those three places, you take the first letters. The first letter off the last one, the middle one, and then take the last two letters, you near it, right? You have, we said the last one was On, O-N, then you have no, N, then you have A. A-N-O-N. That's an on. So we have to
Interesting.
that's there are the two teachers here that are helping those, you know, those that need it, you know, because we all learn from one another. We're all one huge family, one soul family, one collective. And once everybody like resonates with that, and they make this, we all manifest our own destiny, right? Manifest good outcomes, bad outcomes. You know, when they say, "Oh, they're going to pray for them," it's like, well, if everybody manifested a better outcome for this, what would they do? They would go over there and help. They'd be like, "Hey, I got $50, I can help them." It's like, there you go, you just did it. Exactly what you have to do. It takes like little to no, because it's all here. It's all mental. We don't even know we're doing it because as as like an event, as something that like happens, we just think, oh, it's just a fluke, you know, synchronicities. That's just It's like, no, that's the universe talking to you, guys. You know, it's like we're all a lot more special in this than we realize, but we all have to do it together. There's no I's, me's, you know, it's always we.
Absolutely. And when we serve and we want to help and, you know, we want humanity, you know, the manifestation becomes so much easier.
Yeah. And then once everybody's on the same page, it's more like right now. If you think about it, what if we all came here and we manifested that we would have world peace, we'd get rid of all the pedophiles, and we would have total abundance for everyone? I'm sure everybody's thought about that when they were a kid. See how that works? You know, as an object, what would you do? You know, and you could tell the ones that are service to self and service to others, because they would be like, well, I'm going to give myself this and give myself that, or that. Well, hey, I'd go help them and help them and help them. It's like, that's how they start, you know, that's how they plant the seed. They plant the seed, it's going to go.
Absolutely.
How it grows, you know, plant seed, right?
We just got to raise the vibration and focus on our thoughts, be the driver, sit in the driving seat, and the thoughts control every single thought. You know, we're loyal to ourselves and what we're manifesting, you know?
Yeah.
And not let the outside world control our thoughts.
Yeah. And remember, it's, you know, everybody's, how do I say this? You know, I know there's a lot of people that are like down on themselves. This, that, like, woulda, coulda, shoulda, you know, that whole deal. It's like, guys, you can't be in that mindset anymore. You know, whatever happens, forgive yourself. Let's move on. You know, we can't judge ourselves. You know, it's like we're human. We know we're fuck ups. We don't need to add that to our. You know, we don't need us telling us that we're like that. You know, it's learning. You know, it's not anything bad. There's no such thing as sin. There's just a positive and a negative. It's just like we just exist.
Absolutely.
So we exist to learn. Because the moment we build into this collective consciousness, the greater we be able to manifest. Because once that global consciousness project kicked off, and you see like this whole thing, and like everybody starts raising the vibrations, then you have all these group meditations. That's what it is. You have the group meditations. That's manifestations. So you have this huge, massive, manifestation. That's why they want people to meditate and everything. I don't meditate. I can't shut my mind off enough. So it's like everybody else that we'll do us, and then we'll hook up somewhere. It'll be somewhere. It'll be somewhere. So all we can do is we all have jobs to do here, and we're all like falling into our own.
Absolutely.
Yours is to be the one to bring out people and ask questions. Ask questions that others would actually ask. And show compassion, show kindness, show loyalty, even though there are those people that, they're really bad at this, and I can think of two people right off the top of my head, really, really bad at just like asking questions and just, I would never want to go on their show. Never. And I never will. So, sorry. But it's one of those things where we're not doing it for them either. We're doing it for everybody else that's listening. Everybody's doing it for them. Because you never know who's listening. You never know if something you say is going to resonate with somebody. It's just going to be that light switch. It's going to be that catalyst that just flips everything on.
Absolutely.
And that's what we all want. We all want what's best for everyone.
We all want to learn, and you know what I like? I get an adrenaline when I have a lot of information and I feel overwhelmed by it. Wow. It's too much information for a lot of people, and they think, wow, it's too much information. They feel overwhelmed, but it's really interesting,